You're watching Talking About Orcs. In this episode of Talking About Orcs, we're going to be talking about Ghazghkull Thraka. Ghazghkull Thraka is the man. He is a big bad orc war boss of the Armageddon Wars. In the game, Ghazghkull is weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 2, as always, strength 5, toughness 5, with 4 wounds, initiative 4, 5 base attacks, leadership 9, and a 2+ armor save from Mega Armor. He's equipped with the adamantium skull, the boss pole, cyborg body, Mega Armor of course, stick bombs, which are completely useless in Mega Armor, and a big shooter, which replaces the normal twin link shooter that comes with the Mega Armor. The adamantium skull grants him +2 attacks on the charge instead of the usual +1, and makes him immune to instant death. Note, he does not have Eternal Warrior, he is just immune to instant death, because Eternal Warrior wasn't around when the Codex was written. Ghazghkull, of course, is a monster in close combat, with the weapon skill 6 and 5 attacks, 7 on the charge, with his strength 10 power claw. He is just a wrecking machine, able to just deal out and kill pretty much whatever he wants. So even as just a tooled up war boss, he's really good, but that isn't what makes him really special. What makes him really special is the Prophet of the Waaagh special ability. Ghazghkull's war cry can unleash a Waaagh of devastating proportions. Ghazghkull's Waaagh can be summoned at any time, just including your opponent's turn, but only once per game, and not on the first turn, just like a normal Waaagh. Ghazghkull's Waaagh allows the remainder of that player's turn and the following player's turn lasts. So you can call it any time during your turn or your opponent's turn, so through the end of that turn and the next turn, the Waaagh continues. So it lasts longer and it's better. During this period, Ghazghkull's saving throw is invulnerable. So he gains a 2+ invulnerable save for a turn per game. That's the first component of the Waaagh. The second component is that for the duration, all orc units with the Power of War ability count as rolling a 6 for their fleet move. So no rolling a d6 for your movement, you automatically get to move a 6. So that's a guaranteed 18-inch, barring terrain of course, guaranteed 18-inch assault range on a foot slogging unit. All non-fleeing and the third component is that all non-fleeing friendly units become fearless for the duration. So those are the 3 components of Ghazghkull's Waaagh, and they all have separate uses. So depending on the situation, you only declare the Waaagh once, but there are varying times and strategies on how to use it and which component of that is going to be the most useful to you. So you can actually, when deciding to call Ghazghkull's War, pick and choose based on those 3 separate components without having to worry about the others. Of course, Ghazghkull Thraka comes in at a massive 225 points, but he's worth every one of them. And like other war bosses, Ghazghkull allows 1 Mega Knobs or Knobs to be taken as a troop's choice. So, Ghazghkull with Knobs is just beat down in a battle wagon. Because you team him up with the Knobs, you give him the War Banner and a Pain Boy. So now Ghazghkull is weapon skill 7 with Feel No Pain. 4 wounds, immune to instant death. And he is not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's talk about the 3 components of the Waaagh and when are they most useful. Well, obviously Ghazghkull Thraka is designed to run a foot slogging horde mob, because he's a Goth war boss, and that's the Goth clan theme, is just lots of boys, lots and lots of boys slogging across the board. And he's definitely effective in that role. It's kind of cheesy, but I run Ghazghkull Thraka at 1250 points. I run Ghazghkull Thraka, KFF mech, and then 900 points of boys. and sometimes I put in some Ludas or tank bustas. Sometimes, but mainly it's just boys and Ghazghkull. And to be perfectly honest, that list is unbeaten. I have not lost with it because with the mech, keeping the things alive for the first turn, maybe 2 turns if there's a lot of terrain. You have to run across the board. After that, you Waaagh, you get your 18 inches movement, your entire army's an assault. And at 1250 points, it's going to be very hard for your opponent to have enough firepower to stop it. And of course, Ghazghkull will just wreck whatever he touches, especially at that points level. But that's kind of a cheesy list. I don't play that very often, as it's almost too cheesy even for me. So lately at 1250, I've been playing mechanized as always. 2 battle wagons. I don't know if that's any less cheesy than Ghazghkull at 1250 points, but it's a game. You play to win, right? And of course, in the case of the foot-slogging horde, the most important part is the 6-inch fleet move of his Waaagh. However, when I'm running mechanized, by far the most important component is the fearless. Because when you're running mechanized orcs, your units are usually a lot smaller and you have more of them. So you're running 20 boys in a truck, or 20 boys in a battle wagon, 2 or 3 trucks with 12 boys each. You just don't have a whole lot of models on the table, and that fearless at just the right time can literally make or break the game. Talking about my 1250 list, there was one game I was playing. I declared Ghazghkull's Waaagh, and I had a unit that actually came up short. They had to roll through terrain, and I rolled double ones for their assault move. So they were stuck out right in front, literally right in front of a unit of Stern Guard and Pedro Cantor. So I had the KFF mech in one unit, and another unit in front of them, and then right next to them was the Stern Guard. Because they were fearless, they took a lot of casualties. The front unit got down to a knob and 3 boys. The mech's unit got down to the mech, the knob, and 4 boys. So most of the orcs died, but because they were fearless, it didn't matter. He had to wipe them out to get rid of them, and he couldn't, and because of that I was able to keep going with those power claws and just wipe out the Stern Guard. With Ghazghkull. Combined Ghazghkull with the front unit, wiped out the Stern Guard and Pedro. The next unit wiped out Tactical Squad. Or a combat squad, actually. But that's the power that fearless can be at just the right time. So if you're running smaller units, mechanized, calling the war at the right time to get that fearless, to keep your units in place, is the most important thing. And Ghazghkull and the invul save, it's probably the least useful of the components. But if you're going against something big, really big and really nasty, that 2+ invul save will keep you alive for those 2 combat phases. In fact, that's probably one of the most common times I do call it, is when I'm about to assault like a Greater Demon, a Blood Crusher, or Bloodthirster. Yeah, Bloodthirster. Something really big, really nasty, with a lot of attacks. That's when I'll use his 2+ invul save for those 2 combat phases. But that's pretty rare for him to go straight up against something. The biggest thing he's probably ever really taken on is the Keeper's Secrets, and that only lasts like 3 combat phases before the Keeper died. Because again, it's just with 4 wounds and such a high weapon skill, he's really hard to kill in general. So Ghazghkull Thraka is by far one of the most powerful characters in the game. Up there, he's one of the top 3 up there with Abaddon and Eldrad. Not only for his individual abilities, but for his ability to make your entire army just that much better. He is a force multiplier all by himself. He might even be actually undercosted at 225 points. Well, that just about wraps up Ghazghkull Thraka. He is pure beatdown, both individually and as a force multiplier to make your entire army that much better. If you want to give him a try, your friends might not like you anymore. He's just that damn good.